I am heading to Williamstown in northern Kentucky to take a look at Noah's Ark. Come with me. I am told that this is about exact a replica as one can get to, meaning that it is about as close to Noah's Ark as has ever been attempted. If you've never been here before, I would advise you first to go to the Museum of Creation because the two experiences are correlated and that one is the precursor of this one. First things first, pay for parking and then take a shuttle to the entrance. The shuttles have accommodations for wheelchairs as well as any other mobility related needs. The bus drops you off at the Welcome Center. At the Welcome Center, you can buy your tickets if you did not buy them online. If you buy your tickets online, you get the option of buying two at a slight discount. One for the Ark Encounter and one for the Museum of Creation. Past the Welcome Center, you should grab a map. It has all the possible attractions, and if you take a good look at it, you can plan accordingly. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to go through the whole experience. First, the Welcome Center is the Answers Center. It is best if you go through the Answers Center after you have been through the Ark. That way you can buy books and merchandise that match whatever it is that you found interesting within the Ark. The Answers Center has coffee, snacks, small bits of food, that kind of thing. So you can definitely grab something to eat on your way to the Ark. There are books here on all possible topics related to theology and life in general. They target pretty much all ages from school age all the way to those who have not been to school in more than 50 or so years. Also, there appears to be quite a bit of interest in homeschooling, so that is a significant topic here. So if that's your interest, stop here and take a look after you've been to the Ark. Over and above the Ark, there are other interests and activities of fun. It appears that the primary target for this place is the family. It has a lot of activities that are geared towards kids of all ages. And while the topics are extremely serious and godly in nature, there is an aspect of child entertainment in pretty much everything that you're going to see and every interaction you're going to have, including the zoo. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That is the first verse of Genesis. It also appears to be the introductory message as you approach the Ark. To the right, there are multiple scriptures that are inscribed on sculptures that appear to be chronological in order. So be sure to veer right as they sort of prepare you for the encounter you're about to have. In summary, the sculptures are about the sequence of events that begin with the fall of man after eating the forbidden fruit of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. There is punishment and promise. The man will have a hard life. The woman will experience pain in child labor. The serpent and the descendants of the woman will always be at loggerheads forever. It talks about wickedness and the need for God to destroy the world because it had become wicked. The first impression on this structure is that it is massive. It's huge. The second instinct is an urge to rush in and see exactly what it is that's in it. Resist the urge to run in and veer slightly to the right where there are sculptures that focus on the first few chapters of the book of Genesis, and that will perhaps prepare you for what you are about to experience. So don't rush in. On this particular day, there isn't a big queue ahead of me, but that is typically not the case. As you can see, the walkways here are engineered and designed to accommodate everyone, including those who might need motorized vehicles. Anyone who needs a wheelchair can access pretty much any section of the building. All the informational material that I have seen has pretty much indicated that this construction was done with a particular emphasis on the accuracy of measurements and trying as much as possible to create a replica that matched the original to the extent that the measurements in the Bible extend. Now, I have no idea if that was a successful endeavor of the mission or if that was not the case at all. But if you think about it, there must be tens of thousands of species of animals, and a great majority of them, I would imagine, or the vertebrates, maybe a few invertebrates, many invertebrates even, would have to have a male and a female. So double that. You would need a lot of space. On top of that, you would need space for food for the animals, as well as a means and a way to get rid of the waste. So for you to accomplish that, you would probably need to construct a structure that would, I'm not sure exactly what dimensions that would entail, but of note, there are 4 floors here, and the biblical record indicates something similar. There are multiple replicas of the ark in miniature form throughout the structure, and they sort of give you an idea about how elaborate not just this project was, but also the resources needed to bring it to fruition, with multiple years of serious work going into each and every minute details. So Noah's Ark, according to information, took about 75 to maybe 100 years. You have to remember that Noah was 600 years old at this point in time. At that point in the existence of the human race, men lived for hundreds of years, And so, in the grand scheme of things, that would have been normal at that point in time. Science and biology would, of course, be in complete disagreement with that, but we are not talking about either of those today. We are strictly focused on Noah's Ark. This particular construction took about 7 years to finish. Thankfully, not 75 or 100 years, or we wouldn't be here right this minute talking about it. The attractions inside here and the exhibits appear to be chronological in order, pretty much based on the different chapters of the book of Genesis, starting with the original sin and proceeding to the time before the flood, when, according to the scripture, the earth was filled with wickedness. And of course, we see images that would be reminiscent of that point in time, but with a social cultural aspect that depicts wickedness from a perspective that would be interpreted as current, perhaps. I don't think we know exactly what wickedness was thousands of biblical years ago. Of course, morality, ethics, crime, and punishment are not just cultural constructs. They are part and parcel of civilization, pretty much every civilization. And in this particular aspect, God's punishment was severe. There are a lot of biblical references in all sorts of appropriate locations that are interspersed with depictions of daily life in the ark. There is a significant focus on the Torah, of course, as expected, being in the immediate period after the flood. There is depictions of facts that have a bearing on science, an intersection really between religion and science, proving that sections of the Bible, as told within the scriptures themselves, represent not just natural phenomena, but also events that can historically be perhaps traced back to certain moments as having happened. Of course, this is, as always, subject to interpretation and a significant degree of faith and belief. It's not for every palate. There is significant effort that has been put towards the work of missionaries in the period after Christ's death and resurrection and being taken up to heaven, with particular emphasis on people like Hudson Taylor, but going back to biblical times as well, to Apostle Paul and the others. There is, of course, a serious analysis of biblical facts as pertains to the Old Testament and the New Testament as well, as compared to scientific facts and the science and theory of evolution, is a significant portion of the exhibits towards the end. The daily life of Noah and his family within the ark has to be one that would have taken quite a bit of imagination to recreate. You can imagine having to take care of thousands of animals every day, how tired you would be at the end of the day, and how heavily you would just pass out when it's time to sleep every day. But the depictions show quite a bit of social existence, meeting, eating, cooking, playing music, perhaps reading. I don't know if there was a way or a form for them to read at that point in time. There was language, of course, but I don't know about reading and writing. And so after you've got through the ark and you have seen everything, once you step out, you don't see it quite the same again. It's worth mentioning that there are multiple restaurants here. One that actually has a buffet. You can pick and choose what you want to eat, as much of it as you want to. There are others as well that cater to different tastes and foods. I ended my day at the zoo, where there are birds, animals, some exotic, some tropical. There are also petting zoos for the kids. Do not forget on your way out to stop at the Answer Center, buy a book or some merchandise. There is an area for virtual reality as well, where you can experience the themes and topics espoused by this establishment in a more personal manner. There is a carousel as well that is themed on Noah's Ark that your kids would probably enjoy if you have kids. This park is really a whole family affair, and as you can probably tell, it is geared towards the Judeo-Christian tradition, at most the Abrahamic religions, because Abraham appears in the scene well after Noah has been. But it does provide entertainment even for others of other religions. Those who might curiously want to explore, I think they would find it entertaining and perhaps leave with a few questions, a few curiosities sated, and perhaps new ones that need answers afresh. For me, it was interesting, entertaining. Till next time, ciao.